thank you for being here with us. This is very exciting because we have never had you here before, and we have always wanted to have you here, and here you are.
I said that the main reason why I'm here is because my granddaughter is at Georgetown, and
if that's what it takes.
And last night I slept with her, and so I had the most wonderful, wonderful time. But now I will come back because I was very impressed actually with yesterday and also with the women I met here, and I was very inspired, and so you'll get me back if you want me.
That's great. We're thrilled to hear that. Now, would you wear the same outfit again is the big question. Ariana told us she thinks that everyone should repeat outfits at conferences. What's your take on that?
Oh, I think it doesn't really matter. I think the most important thing is to be comfortable.
Yes.
And that's what it is.
So our theme this year is finding your new power, and this is a really great time for us to have a chat with you because you are in the middle of a pretty significant transition with your company. Last year you brought on a creative director, and you are still involved. You are chairwoman, but to be able to sort of really release that control to someone else. Tell me about that process and what else you have going on.
Well, you know, I started really, 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 really young. Mm-hmm. I had my first burst of my first generation of success. I was really 25 years old, and it all happened so fast, and I really didn't know what I was doing. And but that little dress happened. And
the wrap dress. Who has one?
Oh, I mean, seen quite a few. Yeah. and that dress happened, and the rest was history. And you know what motivated me at first was to be independent, and that dress became the key of my independence. But because it was a dress, it turned out to be not just my independence, but the more I was getting confident, the more I was selling confidence with that dress. So there was this incredible dialogue with me and other women as I was becoming a woman and the woman I wanted to be. It was very much a liberation, the moment of liberation for women. So that it became a symbol. So people obviously say I made the dress, but I think really the dress made me. And this week, actually, last weekend, I haven't seen it yet, there's an exhibition at MoMA, and it's the first time that they do an exhibition on fashion since 1944. Even I wasn't born. And they show objects, iconic objects, like the Levi's and the Nike shoe and the Hermes scarf, and then there is the DVF wrap dress.
That's great.
And but the wonderful thing is that dress is still relevant and it's still around. Anyway, so that was the first generation, and then I sold my company. And then 20 years ago, about 19 years ago, I started again, and it was another generation, and we were successful. I was 50 then, and I thought I was the age of the other girls around me, and then a few years ago, I started to think, okay, now I have to think about the legacy, because it was always a family business and pretty much, you know, very family. And so now I have to think, well, if it lasted that long, then, you know, I have to put it in good hands. And so the first step was to hire a new Chief Creative Officer.
Chief Creative Officer.
And then he's, you know, and I kind of gave him a lot of freedom, and so he did a big brush of new logo, new this, new this.
Was that hard for you to let go?
Created a little shock with everyone. And now I have to find, you know, the right CEO and the right person. I have an idea.
Did everyone hear that? I mean, there are people in this room.
But I think I know who I want. And then
Can you tell us who?
No, it's somebody who worked with me before.
Okay.
And then change the business model, because this is the revolution and every business is changing. And it's not the same wholesale business, it's much more direct and digital. And so changing the business model, that's also going to be a shock. And hopefully all of that will be prepared. And then I just turned 70 6 months ago.
Big year.
And people always say, but why are you saying it? And the more people say that, the more I say it. Because, you know, when you're little, you're 8 years old. Oh, you're 8. Oh, you're 10. Oh, you're 20. And then all of a sudden, you're nothing. I don't understand it. I mean, I lived very fully. I should be 120. So I like to say my age, but I'm still very agile with my legs and with my mind. And so I've been thinking about who is the woman that I want to be for my third act. And obviously I have to put my business in the right hands and make it good. And then what is it that I want to do? And really, I want to put my voice, my knowledge, my experience, my connection at the service of women. But I've always done that in many ways. I mean, you know, I'm on the board of Vital Voices. I'm involved with women in the world. I've always been involved with women. But now I feel, and yesterday it was kind of confirmed, I feel that there's, again, hopefully, there is something that is happening to women. Women are I see my daughter, she didn't really care so much about being a feminist, even though she is. But my granddaughters, they're very much feminists. And they look at it. So I think that there's something that's happening to women today. I mean, last night I met, who is the CEO of Mattel?
Margot. Is Margot here? Margot.
I don't know. I met this woman. She's young and smart and came out of Google. And now she's CEO of Mattel. And you think how powerful that job is, because that can really define how the little girls will grow up, you know? And so meeting all of you, everyone in these different places where we can actually really design what women will be tomorrow. I mean, clearly with what's happening in AI, we don't know what humans will be tomorrow. But still, I still think that women are so strong. I've never met a woman who's not strong. All women are strong. But very often, a brother, a father, a husband, a religion, or very often the women themselves don't want to show their own strength. Oh, it's not sexy. Oh, I want him to feel so much more powerful. Oh, this, oh, that. We all go through that. And it's good. But then if a tragedy happens, women all of a sudden take over. So I think it's important that we all know, but I don't need to say that to you guys because you know, that we are strong and that we have power. And once we know that ourselves, we don't have to show it too much. We just have to know and act upon it.
So let me throw it out. We just have a few minutes left, believe it or not. But I want to throw it out and see if anybody has any questions for Diane. In the back there, yeah.
Nilla for Merchant. And the question I have is actually started by your age, your perspective from age. So if you had to characterize, I'll put in air quotes, old power versus new power, how would you characterize that? Power as you grew up understanding it and now as you understand it.
You know, I was with my granddaughter this morning. We were having breakfast, and she and I are the same person. She's 18. I relate so much with millenniums because my great years, my best years were between 25 and 29. And that's when I did it all. That's when I had my kids. That's when I had my big success. That's when I did everything so early. After that, I repeated and not so well anyway. So I really relate to that burst of youth. And so, you know, and people say, okay, what did you know? What would you like to have known then if that you know today? And really, the only thing I could say is I wish I had done a business plan. And believe it or not, I still haven't done it.
You didn't have a business plan. Wow. You didn't have a business plan.
Don't do it. Don't get me there.
We won't go there. Who has another question? Anyone? No?
All right, no question.
Right. Well, I have more questions.
Okay.
So you have said that, why do you identify with millennials so much? I mean, this is
well,
I've talked about this
I
before.
said that because, but I identify with every woman. Mm-hmm. I love intimate. You know, I love the intimacy that you immediately talk and you go right to the depth of it. And I'm fascinated and I'm so inspired by women's strength. I mean, women just never cease to inspire me. And so...
How are millennials different as consumers, customers of your brand? What do they want? I mean, they want authentic, they want...
Yes.
Says that.
They want authentic, they want... I mean, you know, you have to understand that apparently there's a movement in Japan where the daughters of fashionistas burn their mother's clothes and they only want a t-shirt. I mean, you know, you always have a reaction of what it was. I think what I like about millennials is that they want authenticity, they want real, they want sustainability. And I like that because I practice truth. So to some, I mean, I relate to them. And I hope they relate to me.
What do you make of the changes that are happening in the fashion world today and in retail?
Retail revolution is huge, because there's so many stores, there's so many things, everything is available in every color, at every price. So you have to have reason. And so people have, so again, talking to your consumer is the most important thing. And if you happen to be honest, it's good. Mm-hmm. If you're not so honest, it's not so good, which is probably why they're now hiring women to lead all these companies, because the whole world is being reassessed, you know? I mean, when, what was the movie? Oh, the movie Mike Nichols, where they say plastic is everything.
Oh, The Graduate.
The Graduate, right? They say, young man, one world, plastic, right? And the whole world went plastic.
What is the word now?
And now, all of a sudden, plastic, you know, has formed itself a huge island, twice as big as Texas in the middle of Pacific. So, you know, we have to relook at plastic.
We have a question over here. Last question, has to be very quick.
Thank you, Diane. Catherine Keating from Common Fund. And one of the themes of this conference, of course, has been change. And it strikes me that there may be something that the fashion industry can teach all of the rest of us here in our industries about change, because you've always had to change your product every single season, right? So what could you help us with in embracing change and a speed of change that I think for most of us in our industries is much quicker?
I mean, really, truly, fashion is not understood the speed of change of what is happening to the world today. I mean, I'm obsessed with AI, so I end up every conversation with AI and wonder what, you know, what's going to happen to us humans. We will be pets of AI, and so I guess we have to start thinking how we're going to seduce AI.
That's a great place to end on. We're just about done. Thank you, Diane.